Okay, let's talk about a feeling. I'm pretty sure we all have it. Just being completely overwhelmed by information, right? It's become one of the biggest challenges of our time. And in this explainer, we're going to break down why that is and, more importantly, what we can actually do about it. I mean, just stop and think about this for a second. We are living in a time that is completely unprecedented. For the first time in human history, pretty much all of our collected knowledge is accessible in, like, seconds. All of it. The great libraries, the scientific archives, everything, it literally fits in your pocket. This little device that you carry around can answer questions that would have taken the smartest people in the world years to figure out just a couple of generations ago. It's a genuine superpower. We all have it. But here's the weird part, isn't it? Even with this superpower, a lot of us feel more lost, more confused, and more disoriented than ever before. So, what gives? Why is that? This is the huge paradox we're going to unpack today. Yeah, we can call it the paradox of knowledge. This idea that having more and more information hasn't automatically made us feel any clearer. Having access to all the data in the world hasn't necessarily led to better decisions. And honestly, that's a fundamental problem of living in the 21st century. Every single day, we're just hit with this tidal wave of stuff from all sides. You've got news cycles that never ever end. You've got scientific studies, social media feeds, videos, expert analyses, and opinions on absolutely everything. It's a flood. It's totally overwhelming. Okay, so here's the thing. That feeling of being overloaded, it comes from a really basic misunderstanding that we've all kind of bought into. We've started to think that information is the same thing as meaning, but it's not even close. Let's break that down because this is really the key. Information, that's just the raw stuff, right? Facts, figures, data points, random observations. But meaning, well, meaning is what we build from all that raw material. It's the context around the facts. It's how we interpret them. It's understanding the consequences. It's the answer to that huge question. So what? Why does this even matter? And think about it, right? Two people can look at the exact same piece of data, and one of them will see a giant risk while the other sees a massive opportunity. Why? Because our decisions don't just pop out of the data. They come from how we interpret it, from our past experiences, and from our core values. And what makes this whole thing even trickier is that the digital systems we use every single day, well, they aren't really designed to help us find meaning. Their algorithms are built to reward what gets the most clicks, what grabs our attention for a split second, not what actually gives us any real, deep understanding. So, if we're drowning in all this information, but we're basically starving for meaning, what's the solution? Well, we have to completely change our focus. We need to stop just collecting information and start searching for what has real value. For a long, long time, this was the most important question you could ask. Is this information correct? Is this source reliable? And look, that stuff is still super important, don't get me wrong. But on its own, it's just not enough anymore. The really critical question for our time, the one we should all be asking, is totally different. Instead of just asking, is this correct? We need to start asking, which information creates real value for me? This one little shift completely reframes how we look at everything. We stop being just passive consumers, and we start actively hunting for what truly matters. So what do we even mean by value here? It's definitely not about the quantity of information. Real value is created when a piece of information actually helps you do something. Does it give you a sense of direction in a confusing world? Does it make a tough decision a little bit easier? Does it open your mind to a new perspective? That's value. And this brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway from all of this. To navigate this new world, this new reality, we all need to start developing a new core skill. The most crucial skill you can have today isn't about consuming more information or reading faster. No way. It's the ability to take a piece of information and place it into a meaningful context, to see the bigger picture and understand how all the different pieces fit together. Here's a really powerful way to think about this whole process. It's kind of like a ladder. You start at the bottom with raw information. Then, by adding context and relevance, you climb up to the next rung, which is meaning. From that meaning, you find value, something that gives you direction. And ultimately, that value can lead you to the top rung, wisdom. And that's the ability to act thoughtfully and responsibly. So let's be super clear.
The answer here isn't to just unplug from everything or to seek out less information. That's not realistic. The real goal is to get better at navigating the flood. The goal is to find clarity inside all the noise, to achieve a better sense of orientation.
And that leaves us with this final thought. The future of our society, it doesn't begin with more data or faster computers. It begins when we develop a new understanding of what value really is. We have to make that shift from chasing the quantity of information to truly appreciating its quality. And that, right there, is both the huge challenge and the incredible opportunity that's right in front of all of us.